Hey there, it's episode 35, Nerdy Cool Dad Podcast. Thanks for sticking around, or if it's your first time, thanks for checking us out. A couple things to talk about today. Yesterday, I was complaining about my back. Yeah, it was pretty tense throughout the day. Took a lot of muscle relaxants, but it's getting a little bit better. Still pretty sore today, but I thought it was funny. One thing, anyone with kids, or at least young kids, once in a while, it's like, hey, would you mind giving daddy a back massage? And of course, they're gonna say no. So there's a couple tricks up my sleeve. I don't have any sleeves, but if I did, here's kind of what I do. Yesterday I was just in agony. I'm like, let's play slide. So she had to climb up the slide and then slide down. So there's a lot of knees and elbows and little kid hands on the back that felt pretty good. Once in a while, I'll get her to sharpen her claws on my back because she's a cat most of the time. So that works pretty well. And she doesn't quite have the balance to say, for me to say, hey, can you walk on my back? I remember my old man used to get me to walk on his back when I was a kid. Now I can see why. She's almost at that point where she has a decent sense of balance. So good things to come. But of course, I mean, kids have no attention span, so they're not going to do it for longer than like a minute, maybe. But I'll take it. When you're in that kind of pain, you got to do what you got to do. It's a little parenting tip for you. Actually, my dog would be really good at it too, because she's got these tiny little paws that kind of dig into you. But again, she won't just like do it for you. She might walk across your back once. That's the best you're getting, folks. But actually, I've got a really cool item coming in the mail today. It was like it's like a heat blanket. It's someone that you can kind of wear on you. I have one downstairs as well that I use when I need to, but I got another one coming and covers the neck and everything. It kind of makes me look at like the wood one. I haven't tried it on yet, but in the pictures it looks like the Green Power Ranger. It's got like the weird vest thing going on, so that's pretty sweet. They should have just sold it like that to begin with, and I would have paid more. Ugh, stupid internet, right? Yesterday I was driving myself crazy trying to figure out this whole stock market game, and you've heard me complain about it before, and I just don't fucking get it. I'm trying to get something going, get a portfolio going. I'm looking at energy, I'm looking at blue chips, I'm looking at different software companies, different things like that, and it's hard to make sense. I know it's not a time where you should really be expecting to make an impact quickly. You know, you got to buy low and wait for it to ride back up. But I look at a lot of companies that are kind of on my radar to invest in, and they all have a similar trend. It's like once kind of 2017 hit, they hit these record highs. There was like this bubble for 3 years, and I'm probably sounding like an idiot to anyone who actually knows investments and that sort. I'm definitely not the sort. However, I can't help but notice this bubble we were in, and I can't expect everything to go back to normal. And I think it'd be a naive of me to think that would be the case overall. So it's interesting to say the least. That's for sure. I don't quite know what to make of it yet. I got to make my move at some point. Maybe in the energy sector this week or something like that. But I had no idea what I'm doing. So I've been talking to a lot of friends and family and getting their opinions and doing research, but it hasn't really gotten me any closer to making a decision. Anyone got any hot tips out there, you let me know. Tell them, get a hold of old John. Yeah, I don't know. It just doesn't make any sense to me at all, but yeah, that's the stock market for you, because I don't know. Everything, even at some of the lows right now, they seem super inflated, and I don't really understand why. As I mentioned yesterday, the U.S. has been printing money like crazy, so I don't know. Maybe I should just not invest in anything and just hold on to my money or put it in gold and bury it in the backyard. That seems like a good idea, a Ron Swanson type move. But we'll see. We'll see where we get to. Yesterday, pretty cool was if you're a Toronto Raptors fan, yesterday was like the 1 year anniversary from when Kawhi Leonard hit that amazing buzzer beating three over Joel Embiid, and like you just watch it again, and it still gives me goosebumps. Like it's such an amazing shot. Like just watching that, like I actually can't think of a better basketball moment. Sure, I'm gonna have my bias being a Raptors fan, and then we won the championship and all that last year, which is amazing. But you got your Jordan moments, you got your Larry Bird moments, you got all these things going on. Your Kobe Bryant. I I don't know. Maybe you could show me a more impressive moment than that, where it was literally a game six or no game seven, and we hit a buzzer beater like that to win the series, to go on to the conference finals, and just like I don't know. I just remember being in the moment at the time it was happening. It was just like I was like jumping up and down, and the more significant part about it is a lot of the guys on the Raptors afterwards were saying like they were gassed. If that went into overtime, there's a good chance they would have lost that game and lost the series. So amazing sports moments. On that note, I really miss sports. Come back to me, sports. Yeah, I don't know. I heard rumors that I don't know if it's rumors or truth or what have you. MLB is looking to get underway in July. I have no idea what their plans are. But the problem is, like, you got the small markets or people that are counting on high volume, and they have really low margins because they pay the players so damn much. But I think given how things are, actually, I wouldn't be surprised if the major leagues really started investing more in online streaming. I mean, they've got their networks and stuff. I mean, even that. I mean, it's archaic in my opinion. I think they should have gone digital a long time ago, because you'd be able to serve all these ads to people that are still trying to watch the games illegally or what have you by any means. I mean, why would you not take advantage of the ad revenues that could potentially be earned through more streaming methods? I mean, you're still going to have people that are old school that want to watch it on cable, and that's going to go on for a long time. But that doesn't mean that you can't have two mediums at the same time, unless it's against your current broadcast contracts. But I don't really know how all that sort of stuff works. But my argument would be, what if someone's going to stream it, they're going to stream it. You're losing the business regardless. Why don't you take credit for the advertisements and put that into your deck or something like that when you're selling it? Something to consider. I don't know where we'll end up, but if fans can't be there in person, you got to make money somehow, right? And broadcasting is going to be huge, and there's going to be lots of people watching. It's going to be weird without the raw emotion of having fans there. But I can still scream and yell at the TV all I want. So there you go. And I think I brought this up before. Without all the fans and all the noise in the background, you're going to hear a lot of swearing and a lot of like chirping and things like that. So I'm super interested to see how they're going to manage that sort of behavior with the players. But hey, let them do their thing. Also, yesterday, there was a pretty cool announcement from Twitter. Now, I don't use the Twitter that often, if at all. It's been years. I just don't really like Twitter. To each their own, If you like it, by all means. If you don't, well, then tell me, whatever, It's just, I don't know, whatever. I'm not going to get into why I don't like it. Anyways, they announced that all of their employees, even beyond COVID-19, have the ability to work from home as much as or as little as they want, which is really cool. And I hope this is a domino effect, because I think most tech companies, or a lot of companies that have a decent tech stack, could be making use of something like this. Like if you think of how much money you're spending on real estate, especially in big cities, like if you're in Silicon Valley, I can only imagine the astronomical cost of your building, just renting it every month or whatever. It's got to be an insane amount of money. Aren't people downtown Toronto, New York City, a lot of like tech hotbeds, Vancouver as well. I mean, it's crazy the amount of money that companies would be able to save and how they would be able to invest it. Or maybe people are just going to be greedy and put that in the bank. But at the same time, I call that greedy. companies not having money in the bank or any liquidity in general is what got a lot of them into this mess of not being able to stay afloat during COVID-19. So yeah, that's a lesson to be learned as well. But hey, um, we're not there yet. Let's talk about the positives. I just think it's really cool for a tech company, a tech like juggernaut like that, to allow that kind of capability. I mean, my team's been working great from home. I mean, psychologically, some people are definitely struggling, and that's obvious. Some people really need to be social. For me, I don't know. I could care less, really. I'm as social as I want to be when I want to be social. If that makes any sense. But I'm perfectly happy staying home and playing video games, watching movies, TV, whatever. But if I'm at a party, I'm gonna try and be the life of the party. Well, maybe not the life of the party. I'm not like a attention seeking or anything like that. But I like to be fun. So I can go on both sides there. But yeah, to each their own. Cool thing either way. And a couple, well, before I get into fun stuff, I'll talk one more kind of thing. Donald Trump, that guy over in the U.S. We all saw that exchange with him and that Asian reporter yesterday. What do I have to say? The guy's a clown. I don't even know what question would be suitable to ask him at this point. Now, not to say like her question was, why do you have to make this a competition? You should also know your audience. I would argue that regardless of who says it, what your nationality is, whatever, and I'm not even talking about Donald Trump's rebuttal, which was ridiculous, but you got to know your audience. You got to know who you're asking. If you're asking a question like that to Donald Trump, who's already like hates the media or the fake news, unless you're from Fox News, he hates you basically. Why you would even expect to get a good answer out of that is beyond me. So there's definitely two sides of the coin there, but he didn't even give the second female reporter a chance to say her question before he just walked off stage. And like, what would you have to ask him? Mr. Trump, why are you such an excellent president? Why are you such an amazing person? Well, that's a good, very good question. Smart man is what he would say. Talk about how big his brain is. And this is how ridiculous it is. I feel like they're living in like a North Korean state sometimes when you see these media exchanges. Except the reporters isn't like aren't being murdered. So yeah, not that I don't know. I'm not getting into that. That's a whole different episode on its own there that I'm not going to touch. But anyways, it's just ridiculous. So, and I don't know what's more ridiculous: the fact that he's the president, and you couldn't have seen all this stuff. I mean, I knew he was a sociopath since he got in there, and I think a lot of people did. But he got into office, and the sad thing is, you see this all unfold and all these things going on, and he still stands a chance to be president again next term, which is mind-boggling. But yeah, USA. Anyways, more lighthearted news and more enjoyable news to talk about. So because this is the 35th episode of the Nerdy Cool Dad podcast, I wanted to talk about another cool 35th anniversary, which is Super Mario. I posted a video yesterday about potentially, someone like fan made Mario 64 using Unreal 4K engine. I think that's what it was. Anyways, super impressive. I mean, there are some pieces that were not the best redesigns or anything. I don't know. I'm not going to complain. It's still super cool. But this year, Nintendo's going to be launching, apparently, re-releases of Mario Sunshine, Mario 64, and Mario Galaxy. Mario Galaxy is probably one of my favorite games ever. I think it's actually my favorite Super Mario game in general. With Mario 64 kind of in there as well, because that's a fantastic game too. But I'm really looking forward to it. It's a good move. I mean, I think they would have done it regardless of COVID, but it gives them a lot of titles to release this year for Switch users without really having to do a whole lot of work. I mean, Mario titles sell themselves. You don't have to do much work there. I'd just be interested in how they release them and the price point, because I mean, as much as I love Mario games, I don't really want to pay full pop like $90 for a game I've played several times before and already paid like way more than $90 for. If you look at inflation, I probably paid closer to like $160 $130 for Mario 64. Not that I paid for it. Got it for Christmas in '96, I think. Yeah. Anyways, long time ago. But yeah, I'm really looking forward to it. Mario Sunshine is actually a really good game. I think it's super underrated because there wasn't that many people that owned GameCubes. But I played it a few times, and it's actually really hard. Now, this was a few years ago. Maybe if I go back at it, because some of the dynamics were just very different than what you were used to in the past. So maybe I could play it now and it'd be a different story and I'd be a lot better at it. But I do remember some very challenging aspects of it when you'd warp into these weird worlds and have to go against like a clone Mario to beat him in a race or whatever. Super interesting, super difficult. I actually really look forward to having another go at it because I never actually beat that game. So that's something on the old bucket list that hopefully I can achieve this year, but we'll see. And Mario Galaxy, I can't say enough about that. It's fantastic. I just love how creative it is, and excuse me, the freedom you have in the game to kind of just go on all these planets, and I don't know. If you don't know what the hell I'm talking about, I just probably sound crazy, but it is pretty fucking awesome, so check it out. And then next year is the 35th anniversary of The Legend of Zelda. You know, this thing that I'm on my arm. You wonder what the hell that is? It's the Triforce, damn it. And that means something. Look it up. But yeah, next year, Legend of Zelda 35th anniversary. They're going to be launching Breath of the Wild 2, which I'm pretty excited for. I believe it's like February 21st is the official 35th anniversary. Don't quote me, but I know it's somewhere in around February. Yeah, so I'm hoping that, they'll do Breath of the Wild 2, which is to be expected, and I'm really hoping they do like a really awesome like HD remake of some sort of port, like whether it's they do it with I don't know, maybe Ocarina of Time, or do like a double pack with Ocarina of Time and what's that one with the crazy ass moon? Why can't I think of things? Anyways, I'm on the spot. We all know what I'm talking about if you know Legend of Zelda. For whatever reason, I just can't think of the title of the game. But yeah, they did a double pack back in the day for the N64, I believe. Unless I'm crazy. Or they did it. I swear they did a re-release at some point. Maybe it was GameCube. I actually can't remember. But yeah, that would be pretty awesome. And you know what? I'm kind of starved for some more Legend of Zelda. Like I played Breath of the Wild, but it's a very different sort of game. Still cool, still pretty friggin' awesome. But yeah, I think this weekend I might even start playing Twilight Princess again. So I got the old Wii U sitting in the living room, ready to go, and we're gonna get some Twilight Princess going, maybe. So we'll see. Anyways, that's my show for today. Remember to subscribe over here or here. I think. No, yeah, I think it's this one. Yeah, subscribe to the channel, keep watching, and stay safe and stay the fuck home.